So for our audience, if you'd be so kind, Siddharth, just describe JLL and your role as global marketing officer there.
Yeah, I mean, JLL is one of the largest commercial real estate services company in the world. About 19 billion in GAAP revenue, about 9 billion in what we call as fee revenue, presence in about 80 countries around the world, over 100,000 employees at this point. We play in almost every segment of the real estate services industry, whether you're looking to lease a space, whether you're an owner who wants their building leased out, you're looking to invest in real estate and buy or sell commercial real estate properties, or you're a company looking to have your properties be managed by outsourcing the management of them, or if you're looking to bring in more technology, JLL does all of those things for you. I joined as Chief Marketing Officer in October of 2021, and JLL had never had a real CMO before, so it was a fascinating opportunity for me personally because this was a Fortune 200 company trying to build marketing at scale, but didn't really had any experience of having a global corporate marketing function. And so not only an opportunity to build the discipline, build the modern marketing organization, but just to show the business how it can be done and how it should be done. So very excited to be here and very exciting opportunity at JLL.
That's amazing. I mean, I looked at your background. It looks like you spent, was it over a decade at SAP? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, SAP was home for me for over 13 years. So I spent a great deal of time there.
That's amazing. I mean, I think that, the how that experience has shaped your perspective as a marketing leader going into such a massive opportunity like JLL. I'm just curious, just if you reflect on your time at SAP, I know there was a lot that happened over the course of your, over a decade there, but what are some of the things you cultivated as, an individual contributor to a leader, things that you're taking with you to this experience?
Yeah, I mean, look, one of the first things I'll say is whether it's the technology industry, whether it's the commercial real estate industry, there is a saying that the pace of change that we have now is probably the fastest that it has ever been, but it is only going to get faster in the future. And I think that is an experience that I saw was true at SAP and it stands true at JLL as well. Two very different industries, but significant pace of change. At SAP, the pace of change was from moving from selling software that you sold once, on-premise software, to selling in the cloud and building products and services for software as a service and cloud-based delivery to customers. And at JLL, it's all about the role that big factors like technology and sustainability are now starting to play in how companies make their decisions about commercial real estate. So very different, but very common sort of macro environments in terms of the change that they represent. And within marketing, you're all about adopting and constantly shifting and changing as the market moves, as the competition moves. And companies that are successful actually have an ability to stay in touch with their customers as those shifts in the market take place. And in my journey at SAP, that was kind of always the guiding light of how do you continue to keep the customer front and center and stay relevant to what they care about. It is very easy to get lost in your own thought bubble. If you've been talking about sustainability for 10 years, that doesn't mean your customer has been talking about sustainability for 10 years. And so how do you always normalize and stay true to what the customer is looking for? That probably has been sort of the biggest takeaway for me in terms of how you make marketing relevant and modern and really useful for the business.
Wow, solid. Now let's kind of rewind the clock a little bit to you evaluating this opportunity as global CMO at JLL. Massive company, massive reach, as you just touched on, services that include investment management, asset management, sales and leasing, property management, project management, development. I mean, a big span of services, huge reach, huge customer base. Oh, and by the way, the world's changing quite a bit, as you jump into this role. What are you assessing at that time as you're kind of on the outside looking in? What are you organizing in your mind as a marketing leader coming into an organization with such reach and scale like JLL?
Yeah, there were a couple of things that kind of went through my mind. First one was, what is this company all about and what is this industry all about? I mean, I'd grown up in the technology industry. I had a degree in information technology and a master's in information sciences. And so I just had never spent time outside of the technology industry. And when I looked at real estate, I said, is this just a dusty old industry, or is there something happening? And the answer was, oh, this is an industry that's going through a dramatic shift, not just because of the digital transformation, but also because technology was starting to play a much bigger role in the world of commercial real estate, like it had never done before. And people were starting to get up and say, oh, a big portion of my carbon footprint in the world comes from what's called the built environment, which is my buildings, my properties, my assets, my offices, my warehouses, my data centers. I need to sort of deliver on my commitment. Every company at this point has a commitment to be net neutral or decarbon neutral by 2030, 2040, whatever the case might be. This is the first and foremost battleground of how companies are going to go about doing that, in addition to looking at their supply chains and so forth. So is the industry changing? Yes. Is it relevant? And you look at sustainability and the answer is resounding yes. And then of course, I looked at the company and I said, is this a culture and an environment that I can fit in? And the answer was, it's a very collaborative culture. It's a very global company. It's a very geographically diverse place to work. And so the answer was again, yes. And then I looked at the opportunity itself. And I said, can I actually come in and have an impact? And I spoke to the CEO and I spoke to his entire leadership team. And the answer was a very, very strong yes, that people were waiting. They were hungry. They were ready to partner with marketing and drive an impact. And so that was kind of the thought process of going from industry to company to culture, and then actual opportunity itself and the impact that it can drive.
That's great. I mean, I know, on paper, if you just look at the size and scale of JLL, it's easy to kind of be like, okay, well, they're just a big corporation and they're like all the rest. However, you take a little bit closer look and you see some of these sustainability programs and the initiatives around DE&I. I saw the stat around 36% of the top senior management levels are female at JLL, with a target to achieve 40% in just the next few years. So you have a place that's huge in size and scale, yet also actually cares quite a bit about the culture and cares quite a bit about taking some of these stats and making them close to home.
Yeah, I mean, look, commercial real estate, or not unlike many other industries, continues to develop industry-wide, bring in more and more diverse talent into this industry, and in particular to JLL. When people get out of college, oftentimes they just simply don't have an understanding of a career in commercial real estate. Just, people go, I'm going to go work either in Silicon Valley or on Wall Street, or work on a plane for a management consulting firm. And so part of what we're trying to do is not just build the diversity, but also expose more and more people that are coming out of college and universities to the possibility of careers in commercial real estate. And that very much remains a work in progress for us, but that's really going to be the lever that helps us drive more diversity in this industry. And I'm a big champion of driving more D&I within our company and within our industry. And my belief is that's how you do it, which is more education and more awareness of the possibilities that are there in this industry.
In the vein of kind of collaboration and communication, I know it's a super important part of your management philosophy. Of course, entering into this role, again, big company, a lot of team members, a lot of employees and initiatives. How did you and how are you fostering this spirit of collaboration with your team, especially in the world that we're living in now?
We're very big on collaboration, on partnership, on communication. One of the things that we do is we have already, in the short period of time that I've been here, brought our teams together, even though we knew there were risks involved, together in person 2 times. That's an investment that we have made in bringing a core group of leaders together to make sure people know each other. Because remember, not only am I new here, the entire leadership is new as well, because a marketing function did not exist at JLL 8 months ago, 7 months ago. And so we've brought them together. We also use channels, all the technology tools that are available to us, from Slack to Teams to WebEx and Zoom, everything else in between, to make sure every conversation that we have is ideally a video call. We are constantly communicating using things like instant messaging and text messaging and so forth, so that there is no sort of gap in information and information flows smoothly. And then we bring our broad team together. Marketing at JLL is almost 800 people that are spread across 25 different countries. And we have 4 generations represented in marketing. And so we have to be mindful that we need to communicate to everyone, but everyone consumes information differently. And so sometimes I'll send an email, sometimes I'll record a video, sometimes we will jump and be on a town hall that's more produced. Sometimes we will do a coffee corner with just a group of 8 or 10 people. It's like you need to have different horses for different courses. And that's what we believe in. And we've been communicating, and communication is leadership. And that's part of what we do. And every single day, we think about how can we get the message better? How can we get the story out better? Not just externally, but also internally. How do we make sure my own team understands the strategy and they understand how we're going about that strategy and what it means for them and what they need to do differently?
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This segment is brought to you by Salesforce. Salesforce brings marketing and engagement together. If you want to learn more, head over to salesforce.com/marketing. And please subscribe to this channel for more marketing insights from the world's best marketing leaders across the Fortune 500 and beyond.